Yes.
Hey, what do you mean by a self-paced course?
Well, the course material is available in the form of video lectures. And there are multiple practice problems that come along as well. So, you can access all of it anywhere, anytime. And they are available to you for lifetime.
No way.
Oh, yes, way. Don't delay and enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Hi, everybody. Hope you guys are doing well. And please let me know if I'm audible to you in the comments so that we can start with the session as soon as possible. Hi, Sachin. Okay, I'm getting some comments saying I'm audible. Great, great. Good evening, everyone. I'll just wait for a few more seconds and then we can start. Waiting for some more people to join in so that we can have a good audience. Hi, Shubham. Good evening, Kavya. Hi, Afroz. Thank you guys for dropping in your comments. Hi, Kaushal. I'm good. How are you? Okay, great. I think it's time and we should start the session. So, I personally feel elated to host today's webinar, and I so wanted to do this because the guest for the day is Juvairiya Fathima, who's bragged offers from not one, not two, but six big companies. Yes, and she's in her final year of college. Also, currently working as a technical writer with Geeks4Geeks. She's a student ambassador at Microsoft, and she's graduating, like she's currently studying in RLJIT Institute of Technology, Bangalore. So this girl has got offers from IBM, TCS, Accenture, Mindtree, HCL, and Newpro. And this is not easy because coming from tier 3 college, not coming from tier 1 or tier 2 college, and coming from tier 3, tier 4, or much lower colleges, it is not easy to get placement offers from such big companies. So I'm sure this session is going to help you guys a lot, and this will be very beneficial for everyone. Okay, I'm seeing somebody in the comments is telling me that my voice is cracking. Please let me know if it's fine now. Yeah, okay, great. I got the confirmation. It's fine. So let's just introduce her to the stream so that we can start talking. And guys, you can also add your questions to the comments, whatever you want to ask to her. I'm sure she's going to answer to all of them. Hi, Juvairiya. How are you doing?
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah, now you are.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Yeah. So first of all, congratulations for getting placement offers from six big companies. Well done. And I have mad respect for you because you are not coming from IITs, and I know how difficult it is to get into such big companies, such renowned ones, because I myself am coming from the engineering background, and I have gone through the same phase. So yeah, congratulations, and I'm really happy for you. uh, just starting with our session.
Thanks a lot, Chitra.
Yeah. My first question to you would be to tell a brief introduction about the companies you have been placed in. Yeah.
I'm Juvairiya Fathima. As introduced, I'm a student from RLJIT Institute of Technology, and I reside in Bangalore. My college is in Bangalore urban area, and this year I'll be graduating from Bachelor's of Engineering in CSE. The companies that have offered me jobs are IBM, TCS, Accenture, Mindtree, HCL, and Novepro. I've also been a Microsoft Learn student ambassador, and I'm also currently interning as a technical content writer intern at Geeks for Geeks. Apart from this, this is all about me. I've done a few internships as well.
Okay, great. Can you briefly describe the interview process? Pick any company you wish to, and can you briefly walk us through the whole process?
Uh, Well, I've done a lot of interviews at different companies, but I would like to speak about IBM because that's a recent one that I've done so far. So basically, IBM has different rounds: the cognitive ability test, and it has coding test and English assessment test, and then it has learning agility test, and finally, there's an interview round. The cognitive ability test is all about a gamified assessment. It just tests your mental agility and thinking ability so far. So that is all about it.
Okay, okay. And how many rounds were there in your interview process?
If I'm talking about IBM, there were basically three rounds. So the first round, it I had back-to-back assessments. Like first the cognitive ability test. So it a few of gamified assessments. That is used to test the mental agility and how quickly you choose answers and find the answers. And finally, after that, there's a English assessment test, which is used to test your communication skills. And then there was an coding test as well. I had an option. I could choose between any languages like Python, Java, and so far. So that was there. And finally, if after the coding test, there was a HR or technical round. So it was a combined interview round. So 2 to 3 rounds just in IBM. If I'm talking about other companies like Accenture, TCS, they were also of 3 to 4 rounds. The format of the recruitment was kind of different company wise, but the basic criteria is almost the same. So the first round is usually cognitive, technical assessment, and then the coding assessment. Then finally, there's another round for English communication testing assessment, and then lastly, if once you've cleared all these rounds, there's an interview round, HR and technical ones. So that's all about it.
Okay, okay, great. I just saw a comment. Somebody's asking how important is aptitude, and can you suggest any books to prepare for this aptitude round?
See, aptitude is usually it depends on the company that you are actually applying to. So usually, service-based companies kind of use aptitude as their recruitment process, as part of the recruitment process. So what I did for aptitude was I referred a few websites like Java T Point and online resources to learn logical reasoning questions, numerical ability questions, verbal reasoning, and so on. The books I would what I referred was R.S. Agarwal. It was really good. So if you practice consistently, so I'm sure that's definitely a great resource.
Okay, great. So RS Agarwal it is, guys, whoever wants to know. Um, my next question to you would be what exactly to keep in mind while someone is opting for internships and project ideas?
Uh, Speaking from personal experience, I've have had a fair share of rejections when it comes to internship at the beginning. Like I had applied to so many job applications for internships, like right from LinkedIn to a number of applications, and I was getting rejected for a lot of the intern roles that I had applied to.
Yeah.
But finally, all I remember is that the things that I've learned is, while you're applying for internship, even if you're getting rejected, keep applying it, but simultaneously also upgrade your skills. Like, for example, choose any specific domain, say web development or Android development, or if you're interested in machine learning, learn that, or if you're interested in DBFS, learn that, and try to make projects on it, so you can you're sure that this is the field that you're actually confident about, that you know a little bit about, and then you can use it as an advantage to secure an internship. And when speaking about projects, what I did was I learned most of the texting stuff on my own. Like, I referred YouTube, or sometimes Geeks for Geeks as well, and I read articles on Medium.com, and sometimes even referred websites like Free Code Camp, and self-taught stuff like HTML, CSS, SQL, building full stack websites, or sometimes Android development. And then once I've learned it, I try to create an app based on the things that I have learned, and then post it on GitHub. So the ideas could be from a simple portfolio website to a big Android development app. Okay, it's not specific that you have to do a major project just to uh, bag a job or something. All you need to do is learn that skill and make sure you are able to build the project on your own. So that's all about the project ideas.
Okay, great, great. Um, Someone is also asking, which company will you select from these six, and what's the reason? If you have made up your mind yet.
I actually haven't decided yet, to be honest. I'm still giving my final year exams,
Okay.
and so hopefully, whichever company fits in my criteria, I would choose the best that fits right for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So Pradeep wants to know where to prepare for the interview questions.
um, I think Google or internet, you could say, is your biggest teacher, especially during lockdown or pandemic, where you do not have direct contact with your professors or any coaching centers that you have applied to. So, what I did was, if for example, preparing for a specific XYZ company, I would just Google that previous question papers of XYZ company, or the syllabus that is going to be asked in that company's recruitment processes. So if there is aptly in that company's interview question, so what I do is, I see the kind of questions they were asked previously, like in verbal and reasoning, and then kind of practice it on my own, understand what the concepts are, and try to test myself again to see how much I remember. So you can just Google previous year question papers, or refer books like I said earlier, R.S. Agarwal. There are also websites like Java T Point, so that is also there. Uh, a lot of resources are available, so that is where you can learn.
Okay, great. Um, I want to know what extra did you put on your resume to make it look appealing to the HR people? There must be something very different and new, or I don't know, something.
Okay. Uh, I did not do anything special, to be honest. It's the same standard rule that you have to. There are many things that people usually tend to forget, but it's just simple rules. If you're making a resume, you need to make it one page. It has to be very simple, black and white. And please do not add your hobbies or your likes or dislikes, this and that. If you're applying, say, for a software engineer role, your resume must consist all the things that are related to that role that you're applying to. And since I had the passion for creating applications, and exploring tech stacks. Like, once I've created web app, the next thing I'm like, let's go try Android app development, or machine learning development. So this actually made me participate in a lot of hackathons and contests as well. And the benefit of participating in so many hackathons like MLH, which is from the US hackathons, I've even participated in the Harvard hackathon as well. So the benefit of participating in such hackathon is that you get experience and practice to make apps in a short duration of time. You get creative also, and the kind of apps and projects that you make, you can put it in your resume, and that way, or you can just host it on your GitHub and just share the GitHub link on your resume. So one of the most important thing I would like to add is create a GitHub profile, build apps, host it on your GitHub, and share the GitHub link. And another thing is try to get as many as internships as possible, even if it's in a startup. That adds to your work experience, so that will also add some weightage. And please keep it simple and just a single one page format, concise and to the point. And lastly, this is, I'm not sure if a lot of people know about this, but use the XYZ rule. There's this rule that, for example, if you're defining your experience in a certain company, then you can just say that you have accomplished X by measuring Y, and thereby increase the efficiency by Z. So this is the XYZ rule, a generic format. You can use the same rule to define your accomplishments or your work experience in your resume.
Okay, great. So, well, our viewers have got the mantra for writing a good resume, that is XYZ formula. Please remember it, because even I'm gonna remember it for my future. So,
Yeah,
thank you for this.
that's all right.
Yeah. Uh, so, how has your struggle been coming from a tier 3 college and getting all these placement offers? It's not easy. So, how did you manage to get all of this?
Uh, as a tier 3, I'm just a student from a middle class family. So you see, the thing was, I resided in Bangalore, and my college was in Bangalore rural area. So every day I had to travel around 5 to 6 hours using public transportation, and then 7 to 8 hours were just invested in college hours. So I had very less time to study. The only options that I was left with was either like compromising my sleep hours, and I used to study during the time I was traveling in the bus. So that way I was able to keep up with all the study schedules and the things that I was learning. And I did not have a laptop until my second year. So until then I used to stay back in college, or use my lunch hours to practice in the programming labs, different kinds of program and so on. Like from the internet, I would just pick up a question and try to code on my own. So and also another struggle of tier 3 student is that when you are trying to apply for big MNCs, Google, Fang, or like all the big companies that are there, your resume, it is very difficult to make your resume get shortlisted, even just for the interview round. So I don't know. Like I've never got a reference or anything so far, but I think the only mantra that I followed was I kept on applying. Like even if there are 10 rejections, apply 10 more times. So there's one or the other time, 1 out of 100 times, your application is definitely gonna be accepted. So, or kept on updating my resume. Despite the rejections, I have got a bunch of emails. I don't know, innumerable emails of rejections, because I was from a tier 3 student. It's not, I'm not that recognized, but I kept on learning, improving my skills every month. There was a new skill that I learned. Sometimes HTML, the next month Android, the next month machine learning. So that actually added stuff to my resume and increase the weightage. Thereby, I was easily able to get shortlisted in such MNCs. So never give up, I guess.
Great. You don't know how inspiring it is for the people around you. The whole story, it is so emotional and so motivating at the same time, that you traveled for 5 to 6 hours and to reach your destination, and that is your college, and then you do not have a laptop and you actually had to use college computers for creating your coding career. So that is very inspirational, and I feel so happy for you to be here. Okay,
Thank
coming
you.
on to the next questions. uh, what are your strengths and weaknesses for a short term or long term goal?
uh, My strengths, I could say that mm, I like to learn a lot. Like like it's like if I learn something, I'm like, what next? If I'm learning a new technology or tech stack like React JS, once I'm done with it, once I've created an app, I'm like, what next? So I guess that is learning ability or constant learning. That's probably my strength. And weaknesses, I guess, I don't know how to define it, but I guess I'm never satisfied with things that I've achieved. Like if I've achieved something, then I gotta do much better than that in the next time. This is not enough. So that's kind of like a weakness. My short term goal is, I hope, as someone who likes to code a lot, and I like, just uh, developing applications. So I hope I'm able to contribute to the code stack of the company that I'll be working at, as an engineer. And the long term goal is, this might sound whimsical, but I hope I create a learning center, or probably create a tech community for women in tech, and help girls get educated and in programming or computer science engineering. So that's probably my long term goal.
That's really beautiful. And I hope you get to that someday, and uh, you build this community of tech girls, because this would be very inspiring for everybody.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. So how has your family supported you uh, in this whole journey of yours?
See, I came, but I come from a middle class family, so you see, I think there are students out there who are probably in final year engineering right now, and they're probably worried about their placements as well, like if they're going to get a job or not, if they're going to get an internship or not. Believe me, there was a point in my life where I felt the same. I was really low at confidence, like I said earlier, I kept on applying to so many internships that I was getting rejected even for full-time offers, like JP Morgan, Deloitte. I have even given exams for such companies, such top companies, but I was rejected. I couldn't clear it. So that was the point where I had a really low confidence, and I thought like maybe I would never be able to bag an offer. And I couldn't even have belief in my ability. So I guess that was the point in my life where my family and my friends uh, pulled through it. And despite getting so many rejections, despite them being from a middle class family, they supported me beyond their capacities and beyond their capabilities. And I guess that their struggles and their sacrifice actually in turn, it helped me motivate myself, and I didn't want to let them down. So that was a motivation factor as well.
Okay. So since you wear a hijab, so I wanted to ask this question because people say the women who cover their heads, they feel a sense of insecurity, and they lack motivation, or they have this inability to do things, or their parents find it very I mean, all in all, it's a image which goes out, wherein women are considered to be at a lower strata if their heads are covered, and people think कि इनकी freedom को कुछ problem है, या फिर इनको freedom नहीं दी जा रही. So what's your take on that?
Um, this is the first. I did not expect this, but okay. I kind of never thought about it or never experienced that. Okay, I'm wearing a hijab, so I guess I won't be able to fulfill my educational aspirations or my career. But it has never been a hurdle to me, to be honest. It has never been a hurdle because uh, what a woman, not just me as the person who wears hijab, like any girl in a community, I don't think that whatever she wears or she covers on her head or she does not cover on her head, it does not matter how she's getting educated, or like what her career is or what she's learning. So there is no, actually there's no connection at all, irrespective of what she's wearing. It should not bother how she's actually working or pursuing her career, or even in tech communities. So it has
Right,
never been
it's
a
just a
burden to
piece
me.
of
Yeah.
cloth. How you wear your jeans
Yeah.
and t-shirt the same way you wear
Yeah.
a hijab. So it should be made that normal.
Yeah, hijab or no hijab, so I guess girls should pursue like their education. So yeah.
Right, right, exactly. Great. So, may I know your driving factor? What was your driving wheel behind your success?
Everybody has a different kind of motivational factors for them. So for me, I guess there were a number of reasons, but the most important ones were, once, like I said earlier, my parents, despite being from middle class family, they were supporting me right from my childhood, uh, beyond their capability. So that was there. I didn't want to let them down, so that was also a motivation factor. Another thing I could say was, I have this fear of not being an average. So mediocrity is something that I don't want to accept for myself. For me, it's like, be something unique. Try something unique. Be it exams, small exams, or top competitive exams, or whatever that is. It has to be, uh, exceptional or excellent. So that was a driving factor for me, and I guess that's it. Yeah.
Okay, 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 nice. Good to hear that. Uh, yeah, so this is the question which almost every student has in mind, that when should one start preparing for the interview?
Okay. This depends on the year of study that you're in. If you're in first year or second year, then um, you do have a lot of time. But I advise you, I suggest you that do not be under the impression that you have a lot of time. So you're gonna just relax and just take it easy and procrastinate and leave it to the final years. But I guess I realized this in my final year that you have two kinds of companies: service based companies and product based companies. The kind of preparation for both the companies is completely different. Okay, for service based companies, you need coding, you need your communication skills, you need aptitude, logical reasoning, verbal reasoning, and so on. So there, it's not that easy. I'm not saying that aptitude is very easy to clear. Okay, but you have to keep preparing. Whereas for product based companies like Google, IBM, FANG, and so on, you can just Google it, the kind of product based companies that are out there. For them, the most of the recruitment process is completely based on coding, your programming abilities, your programming knowledge, the kind of the ability you have, problem solving ability, and so on. So data structures and algorithm, DSA, is one of the important subjects that I could say for cracking both kind of companies, because coding is definitely going to be there, even if it's service based or product based. So this subject, DSA, is in your second year. For me, it was in second year. I don't know, it is different based on the university. But for me, it was in second year. And while I came back in final year, and I was like, okay, this is a subject that was taught in that year. Now I'll have to revise all the way from the scratch, and then program on it using the different coding websites that are available there. Had I known it earlier, I would have been much more well prepared. So I advised you that the students who are in second year and third year, do not take your subjects lightly. And the kind of subjects that you're preparing right now, like computer networks, DBMS, database, SQL, and Python or Java, and what else, DSA, data structures and algorithm, do not forget them. Keep on revising them, and start programming, or take participate in competitive programming on websites like Geeks4Geeks, or Hacker Rank, Hacker Earth, Lead Code. There's so many websites right there. Try participating there. And for the students in final year, you have a very less time. So I suggest you that create a deadline of 3 to 4 months. Okay, the more time you give yourself, the more time you'll take to prepare. So it's better that you give yourself a limited amount of time, and create a study schedule. See the kind of, if you have, for example, if you're preparing for service based companies, so you have aptitude, verbal reasoning, logical reasoning, and then you have coding. Choose a specific language, whatever you are comfortable in. I chose Python as a primary language. You can choose Java and so on, or C++, and then start programming on websites. Read a little bit of computer networks like TCP/IP protocols and so on. Read about DBMS, database, SQLs, keys, primary keys, and so on. Try to build projects. Projects are very important. Even if it's just a simple website or a full stack web app, create that, post it on your GitHub, participate in hackathons or so on. and do it in within 3 months, and make sure you're doing it every day consistently. Do not be like, I'm gonna study today and then after 2 weeks I'll continue the next subject. So this is not gonna help you. Create a study schedule, practice it every single day. So this 3 months of practice will help you in all the companies, because the format, the syllabus is kind of the same. It's almost the same for all the companies. Just the kind of rounds that they gave, the kind of questions that they ask is just different, but the overall study preparation is almost the same for all the companies. So I hope you do the final years. That's what I suggest you guys. uh,
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, so sorry. Uh, Kaushal wants to know that he's in currently he's studying in seventh semester of electrical branch, but he wants to go to IT industry. So which language should he pick?
Uh, I'm from CSC, but I do not know much about EC. But I would like to, having friends from EC. I guess you have to learn at least one specific language. So I suggest you go for Java or Python. But based on the kind of experience my friends had and the kind of knowledge that I know, I guess Java will be kind of difficult for you, but it depends on any individual. I cannot say anything about it. If I suggest you take Python, so based on the one programming language, try to participate it in different kinds of coding platforms, practice it, and hopefully you'll be able to crack jobs in IT companies.
Okay, great. Subdeep wants to know if he has to go for projects or competitive coding or both.
Mm, Projects will definitely be there for all companies. So I suggest you create projects, 3 4 projects that you can use it in your website, sorry, or in your resume. And competitive coding, see, it depends, because you cannot become a 4-star coder on CodeChef like just in a night. It takes a lot of learning, it takes a lot of practice and programming skills. So I never actually participated in a lot in competitive coding, just a little bit. So, but uh, it helps while if you want to get shortlisted in top companies. Sometimes that helps too. But I'm not saying that that is the only criteria, competitive coding. So I suggest you prefer projects over competitive coding.
Okay. Sachin wants to know if there is any specific website or roadmap that you created.
Uh, Websites, like I said, it depends on the company that you're applying. But if you want to learn aptitude, use Java T Point, RS Agarwal as the book's previous company-wise question papers, and for coding questions, read the theory of DSA, understand the concepts like how a string manipulation works, how arrays work, how linked list works, and then practice on HackerOut, CodeChef. Use even GFG resources. I personally use a lot of GFG resources as well, and then read theory of computer networks, SQL, and web development. Make some projects, 3 or 4 projects. That's all. I guess that is complete, very enough. If you want, you can, there are students actually who use courses and they do certifications. But I just want to say here that certifications might add weightage, but at the end of the day, if you do not know the skills, if you do not have the skills that you have certified for, it won't be of use. Because if in the company, if you have added that I am certified in so and so course, and if the interviewer asks you questions on that, and if you're not able to answer it, then that would be a very bad impression. So skills are more important than certifications.
Right. Anita wants to know which platform is good for competitive programming.
Uh, Competitive programming, CodeChef, personally for me, CodeChef has been really good for when it comes to competitive programming.
Okay, great. Uh, how was your schedule and daily routine? How many hours were you studying daily?
Um, I used to travel for 5 to 6 hours, so I did not have a lot of time. Um, After coming from college, I used to reach home at around 8 o'clock, and I used to study during my bus hours. After coming home, I would just study up to 12 or 1 o'clock, I guess, and then wake up early morning. So the thing was basically everyday study. Like if something is taught in the class, I would study the same day itself. And if there's nothing that's been taught that day, I would start programming on HackerRank and other coding websites. So just keep yourself busy in any programming related tasks.
Okay, so another question is, what are things other than DSA we need to learn in order to get job in product-based company for a tier 3 non-CS college student?
Okay, what are the thing? Why do we need to? Okay. In product based companies, see, they do not there's one good thing, when it comes to product based companies, your college, your background or whatever, it does not matter. The only thing that these companies want is your programming skills. That's all. Your programming skills, your problem solving skills. So just take, I think 3 months are completely enough if you are completely dedicated and focused to this subject. Apart from DSA, you do need to have projects, because obviously you'll be working on some app or some code stack in the company. So you'll have to know things like HTML, CSS, SQL, creating databases, or at least creating an Android app. So and internships or work experience. So that is also there.
Okay. Sham wants to know if being a technical writer helped you in cracking technical interview rounds.
Uh, well, it did help me in a certain way, because when I was writing technical content, it was mostly based on Python or DSA. So there are many different subjects that I have posted articles on. So while doing so, I had to first learn about the post that I'm writing about. So that way I'm actually learning things, and then I'm trying to explain it in a verbal way. So that was a two-way revision. So yes, it did kind of help me while writing articles.
Okay, great. Um,
Thank you, Sachin Chandela. Thanks for seeing. I mean, send some, but I want to go on. Okay. I guess I'm done with this. Yeah,
yeah,
caution. Yeah.
I think you've already told this one.
Yeah, I've done this. Thanks a lot, Pratik. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Muhammad Wasim Hakim. Okay.
A lot of comments are popping up, I must say. It's very difficult for me to pick up the ones which have important questions or queries.
Okay.
Oh, okay, this one.
There's one. Yeah. Without degree, can I get an internship for? I I don't know if I'm the right person to answer this, but I've heard stories of where people have actually changed their career courses from different backgrounds to into the IT industries. But it is I can say that it is kind of very difficult if you're from a non CS background or without any degree. So yeah.
Yeah. Are doing internships very important to get a job in big MNCs?
I think it definitely holds a lot of weightage. Like if you're taking your resume, you have your name, you have your qualification, and say if you've done projects, you're gonna write at that about that 3 4 projects, and then you're gonna write about your achievements so far in your life. What else? Your resume is gonna be empty. If there's a lot of white space, then that's gonna give a bad impression in your resume. So I think internships not just fulfill the role of taking up the space in your resume, but it also sends a message about you that you have an industry experience, or you do have an experience building this app or this particular tech stack. So yeah, it helps you. It definitely
Okay.
helps you.
Jakaria Hussain wants to know how important are core subjects like OSD, PMS, CN.
Yes, since the pandemic has started, the kind of recruitment process is kind of changed than the previous one. So, OS operating system, you have LRU, catch implementations, and so on. So these are the concepts that are there. DBMS, you have keys, primary keys, normal forms, normalization, and computer networks. The most important one, TCP/IP protocols. So I'm sure you know all these subjects that you've studied in your college. Yes, these are important, but not to an extent compared to the DSA. if I say DSA takes up like 50 to 75% of importance, then the rest is these subjects. So you might have interview questions, technical rounds on these questions, or sometimes you have technical assessments on these subjects as well. So just go through
Okay.
these subjects. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very helpful tip. Okay, Mohammed Junaid wants to know how did you find and prepare for campus interviews?
How did for campus interview? Um
I
for
think it's
like a
off campus ones because on campus the college tells you.
Yeah.
How did you
For
find? Yeah.
off campus, I guess, like I said, it depends. The preparation differs based on the company that you have applied. I'll repeat it again because if I'm taking aptitudes and all that, so I referred a lot of websites, like I said, Java, T Point, three schools, and so on, W3 schools for HTML, and so on. And if any of you is preparing projects, if you have no clue that how should I start, you can use websites like Free Code Camp, W3 schools, to learn about web development and so on. There, this similar kind of websites are also available for Android development or machine learning, whatever you like. Try to create projects on that. And yes, if you want notifications about job, there are many resources. LinkedIn was my most important, or I could say the biggest resource for finding applications for job. So they support a tab there for finding jobs. You can just go through it every single day. There are telegram groups available. There are websites that you can subscribe to who notify you every single day about the upcoming openings and job openings for these newly graduates or students.
Okay. For learning DSA, which language is best?
uh, it depends on the individual. Okay, so if there's another student, for them Java might be easy, for other students C and C++ might be easy. But for me, I used Python because I wanted to focus more on the problem, more on the concept. And also Python has a lot of inbuilt libraries, so you have less work to do, and you have more time to focus on actually how to create an algorithm to solve the problem. So for me it was Python, but I guess you can try out Python and see if it works for you. If not, something else.
Yep. Aditya wants to know, are advanced Java stacks like Django and Flask important or just HTML, CSS, JavaScript projects work?
Yes, definitely, because I've seen this trend because of the pandemic and lockdown. The competition has increased very much, so you need to be updated with all the current technologies, or the old kind of technologies like don't matter that much, because everybody, most of the people know HTML, CSS, JavaScript. These are like the basics. But if you have time, so if you're learning Django, Flask, React, JavaScript, or Angular JavaScript, then definitely that will be very good for your job application and your resume shortlisting.
Okay. So Pratik is from CSE, but in 2 and 3 months his placements are going to start. How can he get placed in any IT company? And also he wants some guidance for DSA.
Okay, I think 2 and 3 months are definitely more than enough for your preparations if you're consistent and you're very dedicated to your preparation. If you're a campus, or if you're applying for service-based companies, then I suggest you create a daily routine plan and give 2 to 3 hours for aptitude practice. Take up. There are many topics that you have: ratio, proportion, syllogism, mixtures, percentages, and so on. So every single day, take one topic or two topic, understand the concept, and try to practice questions on your own. And then after 2 to 3 hours that you're done, take another 2 or 1 hour, whatever you feel right, or how fast you learn, and dedicate that time for your programming thing. And also, one of the important thing I want to mention is, while you're solving or practicing or preparing for interviews, make sure you set your time limit for yourself, because you'll just have 2 or 3 hours. And there are sometimes that you get questions where you just get 5 seconds for each question, and you're not able to go back to that question and solve it. So every time you're practicing, set a time limit, and that way you'll be adapted to that kind of duration, and it will be easier for you during exams as well. For yeah, for DSA, just read your college notes as theory, and start practicing on HackerRank or Geeks for Geeks and Lead Code.
Okay.
Is 6 month enough for? Uh, Yes, yes. I have, to be honest, from I've seen people who have cleared product-based companies' job interviews in just 3 months while working in a company. So I guess as a student, 6 months is definitely enough.
Okay. Mohit wants to know if companies care about grades too much.
Okay. See, a lot of people will say marks are not important and so on, but yes, they do matter just for you to get the ticket to your interview. Okay. So because there's obviously a criteria that you आपको 65% के ऊपर लाना होगा, आपके सारे 10th 12th और BE में 65% के ऊपर percentage रहने चाहिए या फिर 70%. It depends on the companies. So I'm not saying that marks don't matter at all. Marks do matter for your resume to get shortlisted and for you to get a ticket to or an opportunity for interviewing at that company. Uske baad mein marks don't matter. Nobody cares how much marks you got. After that, only your skills and your knowledge matter.
Great. Uh, is data structure and algorithms really important to crack the interview?
It is important, very important if you're applying for product based companies because these companies focus just on programming and building applications. That's all. Aptitude is not usually what they ask for. So yes, thank you, Hasiba Kulsum.
From where to start preparing DSA algorithm as a beginner?
As a beginner, there are many websites. For me personally, it was Lead Code and Geeks for Geeks. In Geeks for Geeks, you have the section-wise, topic-wise articles and posts. You even have questions on each topic. The same goes for Lead Code as well. So the concepts are explained, and sometimes I even referred YouTube. I just googled like string algorithms or what is a linked list, and just you can watch the YouTube videos, make notes, and then refer it, understand what the concept is. And after you've done, for example, if you've understood how an array is, what it works, how to insert, delete, and modify an array, you've understood the theory, go to the programming website what you are comfortable with, HackerRank or Lead Code or Geeks for Geeks, and then start practicing questions on that topic. So that way you'll understand how actually you have to code. You've understood the theory, now you know how to program also.
Okay.
Thank you, Muhammad Junaid.
To whom you'd like to give your success credit mainly?
Muhammad Wasim Hakim, I want to answer this by saying I definitely want to give the credit to the success to my family and especially my parents. So they have always supported me. So the whole credit goes to them, to be honest. Yeah.
Great. Where can I learn development? I'm not sure.
Uh, Other thing, I don't know what development is, it web development or Android, but yeah, if you're talking about web development, the basics as a beginner, you can use a free code camp, you can use W3 schools, and there are many other websites as well. And for Android also, you have a lot of you have Android developers website and so on. So yeah.
Did you refer to textbooks like Galvin, Corwin for your preparation?
Not a lot. No, I did not refer a lot because I did not have enough time to study through that. But for others, like for DSA, I did study few of the textbooks, like Narasimha Karu mentioned for DSA. So yeah.
Okay. Did you apply for TBCs? How's the experience with them?
Yes, I did apply. I did not have any consecutive back-to-back success and back-to-back offers and so on. I did have my fair share of rejections. So after applying for PBC, the kind of interviews that they have is completely different from service-based companies. There, they do not ask about aptitude. They do not ask about verbal reasoning, or they don't even give you a communication or English assessment. They test your English communication skills while you are explaining, and it completely revolves around programming. That's all you have to know. And
Okay.
another thing I would like to add to those of you, the students who are here, make sure while you're practicing any kind of coding question, make sure you're able to explain it while you're solving it, because sometimes when you're in interviews and if the recruiter is asking or if the interviewer is asking you to explain this, solve a question, you can't just be silent and just solve it on your own. You'll have to keep on explaining and explain your thought process, the kind of approach that you're taking. So if you're on the right track and if you're stuck, the interviewer might help you. So that is the
Okay.
thing.
Will practicing in code forces help interviews DSA part, or it is must to do let code GFG problems?
I don't remember actually. It's been a long time since I've actually practiced on code forces. But see, it's not like this particular website is really good. You have to do on this. Lead Code and Geeks for Geeks, they have subject-wise and section-wise questions on programming. So that is much more helpful. So you Lead Code Forces and Code Chef is really good when it comes to competitive programming. But for interview preparation, Lead Code and GFG are much better. As for me, yeah, from my experience.
Okay. What sacrifices did you have to make to achieve your goals? Interesting.
Well, I, to be honest,
Cut
sleep,
down
I
on
guess.
social media, maybe?
Yeah, and sleep definitely. I just had 3 to 4 hours of sleep every day, and sometimes you did not have time to spend time with your friends and party around or just hang out with them. So that was instead I would be studying. So
Yeah. How did you maintain good CGPA in college? Does admission for MS in abroad require good CGPA too?
CGPA, like I said, when you're in Bachelor's of Engineering, it's not like 12th or 10th where your teachers are constantly behind you and giving you unit test every weekly. It becomes your responsibility to make sure you are actually well prepared and up to date to the syllabus that has been taught. For me, because like I said, I did not have enough time to study, so I could not afford to procrastinate and keep all the syllabus right before exams. I wasn't able to do that. So that's why I studied every single day, but in a way that helped me to understand the concepts that the teacher was teaching the next day, the professor was teaching the next day. So to maintain a good CGPA, I suggest you study every day and read the textbooks. A lot of people don't read textbooks, and make sure you take help of your professors, because professors do are actually right there to help you out and assist you in any doubts that you have. And about MS, I don't think I'm the right person to say, because I haven't actually done MS.
Yeah. Does online certification matter? And if yes, and what are the websites where this person will get certified courses?
There are a lot of websites to get certified. You have Coursera, you have I don't know, a lot of websites are there, but I do not Udacity, Udemy. But I believe that certifications don't matter. There are people on online on social media that posted like a bunch of certifications, and when you ask them or when you ask them to quote something, they do not actually know about it, so it gives a bad impression, and it does not matter. People don't actually see, the recruiters don't actually see that what certifications you've done. They only see, like, in your resume you mentioned that you know HTML, you know CSS, you know this, that's all. Your the projects that you are on GitHub on your profile are a proof that you've actually done it on your own. So yeah, learn skills more than certifications.
Okay.
Can you please tell me
Shantanu
how
wants to know,
to build
yeah, how to
resume?
build a resume, because companies use a tracking system which automatically shortlists the resume.
Yes, this is a very good question, Shantanu Nimkar. Sorry. Um, Resume, keep it very simple. Make sure you're using Times New Roman, and say if you're applying for software engineer. So definitely the keywords like development, the keywords like say HTML, software development, project development, efficiency, or things, all the keywords related to software engineer role must be there in your resume. So that way it kind of to the ATS it seems like, okay, this is the right resume, this seems like the perfect one which fits into the software engineer tag role. So a lot of people forget to do that. That's why despite having all the skills, despite having all the knowledge, their resume does not get shortlisted. Another thing, make sure it is in readable format. Try to change it to PDF or test it. There are many resume websites online where you can test and see how your resume is seen by the ATS. There, so you can just use that and correct it accordingly.
Okay. Ronak wants to know which platform is best for DSA in Java.
Lead code, GFG, and HackerRank. I think these three are really best.
Okay. How important are good projects or GitHub profiles if I'm strong with DSA but not as much with projects or online work?
I think if you just make one or two projects, it would be good because a lot of people are good in programming. But you see, as an engineer, we need to learn, adapt, and evolve. So that's basically what we have to do. We've got to be multi-talented, so not just fixed to one domain. Uh, I suggest you create a website portfolio where you are actually, it's like a virtual resume. Okay, that actually serves as your project. You can just host it on GitHub. So this way you can just say that I created this portfolio on my own. So that actually gives a good impression. One or two project, at least one or two projects. So even if you have no clue how to build a website, 2 to 3 months are more than enough to learn all these things. So yeah.
Okay. What is the difficulty level of interview DSA problems? Can we compare those with lead code, easy and medium, or hard?
I can say that depends on the role that you have applied for and the company that you have applied for. If you're applying for level one roles and a different company, it differs. But as the fresher, I guess the difficulty level ranges from medium to hard. So if you're able to solve medium level questions on lead code on your own without any help, so definitely you will be able to crack it.
Okay, okay.
Thank you, Vikas Solanki.
Um, Anurag wants to know if it's compulsory to make ML projects or web design or enough web development.
No, it is not fixated that you have to create in the specific domains. It depends on an individual or what you find easier. Some people find web development really good, so you can make web apps. Some people find Android easy, so you can make that. Or if you like both, just make a combination of all these things. So it's not necessary that it has to be this.
Okay. How is your parents' reaction to these achievements of yours?
They are really happy about it. I don't know, like uh, they just can't. They have no words. So, but the credit goes to them. So, yeah, thank you, mom and dad.
Yeah, of course. Uh, I think this is the last one that we're going to take up.
Yeah.
What are the concepts that one has to focus more on coding rounds? Okay, he wants to know the concepts which are going to be asked in the coding rounds.
There's not like they're gonna just ask concepts like I'm gonna ask you a question on arrays, I'm gonna ask you a question on linked list. It's not like that. It's more like they're just gonna give you a question. For example, they're sorting arrays, for example. Okay, if you have random numbers, they'll ask you to rearrange them. So there are many ways you can sort arrays. If you're very good with sorting algorithm, you'll use the best one. You'll ask questions, you, if the array is already sorted or if they're repeated numbers. So it is not they ask questions on concepts, but I suggest that you focus on data structures. Mainly string manipulation questions are more commonly asked.
Okay, so a few more are popping up. I'll just briefly summarize all. Nitin wants to know your interview strategy.
Uh, Nitin, I'm not sure like which year you are, but if I give you the shortest strategy, like in short period of time, if you're applying for service-based companies, then just use apti questions, refer old questions, see the kind of it's. These are very easy, but just practice them. And when it comes to coding, if you understand by learning by doing, just go to HackerRank website and see previous coding questions that have been asked in that company, and make sure your resume is really good. This is the third point. Apti coding, your resume must be really good. Make sure you have internship experiences, and if you're making any projects, even if it's very simple, don't be hesitant to host it on GitHub and use that GitHub profile link in your resume. uh, and that's all you can do it. Thank you, Prashant Chaudhary.
Um, Also,
Thank you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there was this question from my side,
Okay.
which is since you have such great aspirations, where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years?
Uh, 3 to 5 years seem like a long time, but I guess in the next 3 to 5 years, I hope I'm really experienced in my profession and a learned profession and expertise in my domain, and hopefully I'll be able to contribute back to the society using my skills in my toolkit, and especially help the girls, pursue their education in computer science, women
Yeah.
in tech. So yeah, that's
Yeah, definitely. So looking forward to it. And
yeah,
if you need any help, you can always contact GFG, and they will be so up for it. I
definitely, yeah, definitely.
Okay, there's one more popping up again and again. How did you answer? Why do you want to join this company?
How do you see the first you need to when you're sitting for interview rounds, there's definitely a question, okay, why do you want to join this company? So what I used to do was, before I joined sat for the interviews, I used to read through the principles and values of that company. तो हर कंपनी का कोई प्रिंसिपल और वैल्यूज होता है कि सेट ऑफ रूल्स होते हैं कि व्हाट दे स्टिक बाय, एंड यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड कि इनके वैल्यूज और इनके प्रिंसिपल्स में विच वन अलाइंस विथ योर principles in your life. So definitely one or the other principle aligns with that, so you can use that as an example to say that that is why you want to join this company. You have the similar kind of mindset, and yeah, that is what it is.
Okay. And for all those who are asking for her LinkedIn profile, we'll attach it in the description below on YouTube itself. You can get it from there. And even Juvairiya, you can send me the link and I can just put it in the comment section so that anyone who wants to directly message you or ask you anything, they can DM you there.
Yeah, definitely you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'll be happy to help you guys, or clear any doubts that you have, queries.
Yeah, yeah. Great. Um, okay, so there is one more question which is popping up again and again, and I would like to discuss it. How much important is the communication skill in interview? And did you
uh,
practice?
okay, a communication skill is important. Okay, there are people out there who are very knowledgeable when it comes to programming, but they're not able to explain it because they are not well versed in English. So yes, communication skill is important because while you're working in the company or something, you'll have to handle meetings, or you'll have to explain the code stuff, or the code stack that you have programmed. So for proper understanding, definitely it is very important. And communication skill, I guess a lot of people, what they do in colleges, they start speaking in native languages to their friends, and that way a lot of much time is just spent in conversing in native languages. तो उसी टाइम को आप क्या कर सकते हैं, आप उसी को इंग्लिश में बात करके you can create a practice, so you do not have to set a specific time or a session for practicing English or something. So yeah, that is all about it. Or you can, if you have any mentors or something, you can try to create a mock interview and see how well you're doing and see where you lack at, kahan pe,
Okay.
you'll have to practice more and get yourself better, so you can do that.
Yeah. Okay, one more. How to DSA continuously? I get demotivated soon and waste time in watching movies.
Okay. Well, see, I know DSA, when you're practicing, especially linked list trees and graphs, there will be a time where you're very confused and you'll be like, this is not getting in my head at all. And when you start programming, that actually increases your belief in that thing. So I suggest you never give up. Okay, if you're not understanding something, just take a break and come back to the same topic again. Try to, what I do is, if I'm not understanding a concept, I try to speak out loud and talk about it as though I'm explaining to a small kid. So when you're simplifying it and explaining it to a common man, that way you are actually trying to explain and make that concept understand to yourself. So that is what I do. And you can, if you want, if that works for you, you can do the same thing. And I guess wasting time in watching movies, I'm not saying that you should stop watching movies, but I guess there should be a balance between studies and taking a break and something. So uh, don't forget that if it's your final year, you'll have to get a job some way or another. So yeah.
Yeah. Um, so I know time won't allow me to take up all the comments,
Well,
but I think
yeah.
yeah, we've covered most of the queries, and I really hope everyone got their answers. And even if you have them right now, or you have something in mind, or even or if that thing pops up in future, then you can always message her on LinkedIn. Like I said, I will add it to the YouTube description, and then you can directly.
There's one question that I would like to can we answer that?
Yeah, yeah, sure,
Rehan
sure.
Gadag, are paid courses any worth? Because I find DSA very. I never opted for any paid courses during any time of my engineering, because, like I said, internet is your biggest teacher. So just Google stuff, just YouTube stuff. You'll find all the resources there. So I never used paid for anything. I think it's better if you just look up online and learn from it, because you can watch a number of times. So yeah, that's all I wanted to answer.
Great, great. So it was lovely chatting with you, and I hope you all the very best in your future endeavors. I wish and pray you get everything you desire, especially the woman in tech thing.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to it. And
Uh,
yes, if yeah, if you have any advice for all the viewers, then you can go ahead and.
uh, well, I just want to say thank you for your patience for listening through all this, and I'm really sorry if I've said something or offended anybody. But you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, and to the students who are currently pursuing for jobs or looking out for jobs, or anybody else, I just want to say that never give up. Keep on trying. There will be points or times in your life where you are low at confident, but I realized this in my final year that having confidence plays a huge role in your success. So every time you feel like you're not going to do it or you're not going to make it, just keep on moving forward. This shall pass. My parents used to say that, always compete with yourself. If you've done something, do much better than that. So if you're failing, next time be like, yeah, I'm going to do much better than that. So yeah, that's all. And I can't wait to see all your experiences on Geeks for Geeks and meet you all. So thank you. And I want to thank my friends, family, and all the well wishers who helped me achieve all this, all these offers so far. So, and thanks Sidra for having me here.
You're welcome anytime. And I hope you guys are very satisfied with this session, because I am seeing the comments and everyone is very happy. I hope we get to host more such webinars in the future. And see you soon, everyone. Till then, stay safe and yep, get vaccinated. Bye,
Yeah.
Juvairiya. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.